Now to another top story we're following tonight. President Trump met privately with Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelenskyy for about an hour Thursday as the two leaders pushed to make progress on ending Russia's war in Ukraine. Zelenskyy described the discussions as productive and substantive. He also said representatives from the U.S., Ukraine, and Russia will meet in the United Arab Emirates for peace talks scheduled for either Friday or Saturday. It's the first time a meeting like this will be held about ending the nearly 4-year-long war.
I think this is good. If on the technical level we'll begin this trilateral meeting, I hope that we will find some, I don't know, Russians have to be ready for compromises because, you know, everybody has to be ready, not only Ukraine.
Everybody has to be ready, not only Ukraine. Joining me now is Ambassador John Herbst, Senior Director of the Atlantic Council's Eurasia Center. He's also former U.S. Ambassador to Ukraine under former President George W. Bush. Ambassador, thank you for being here. What is your reaction to this first trilat meeting?
Well, it does represent, in terms of negotiations, a step forward. The Russians have refused to meet with the Ukrainians. I suspect if it does happen, and it seems it will, it's because Putin realizes he's been said no to every proposal Trump has put in front of him. It's time for him to say yes because he's afraid of what might happen if he angers Trump.
I do want to ask you about something that Zelenskyy said. He said while discussing the hurdles toward a peace deal, it's all about the land, referencing, of course, Russia-occupied eastern Ukraine. Zelenskyy has long opposed any kind of land transfer. How do you see this issue playing out?
Well, Zelenskyy has demonstrated a willingness to compromise in a serious way since Trump put the first proposal on the table in the middle of March in Saudi Arabia. It's the Russians who said no. The negotiations right now have focused on a preposterous Russian demand that Ukraine hand over the Western Donbass, territory heavily fortified that Moscow has been unable to take with its troops since the big invasion began almost 4 years ago. And Zelenskyy said no properly because that territory is very hard to take, whereas the land to the west of that territory is flat and not fortified. That's the real sticking point at the present time.
Ukraine has also been trying to secure some form of security guarantees from the U.S. or Europe. Do you think that's something that could actually come to fruition?
Well, I believe the negotiations between Zelenskyy and Trump in Florida at the end of December were very successful on this. President Trump apparently agreed to the concept of 15-year security guarantees, but Zelenskyy pointed out he needs it to be longer than that. So there has been real progress on that subject. The problem, of course, is Moscow wants no part of it. It doesn't want American security guarantees. It doesn't want European troops in Ukraine. It wants to continue the war because Putin's aim is to take effective political control of Ukraine.
Well, Ambassador John Herbst, we appreciate your time. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.